What's up everyone? Quick video today to clear up some of the recent misinformation spreading around the community. As always, this time it's about the Cryo Traveler. The Cryo Traveler is broken. The Cryo Traveler is better than Sandrone. Don't pull for Sandrone. That's exactly what we're going to talk about. Let's break this down so everyone understands what's actually going on. One of the biggest claims going around is that the Cryo Traveler is stronger than Sandrone. Not even close. The Stellar Conduct Traveler is played as on-field DPS, dealing a mix of cryo damage and stellar damage. However, the Traveler's base DPS only reaches around 20k, while Sandrone sits at 35.9k. Base DPS matters because it tells you how much potential a character has, both for future content and in many different team scenarios. For reference, these calculations use a C6 Traveler with his signature 5-star weapon at R3, following my usual standards. Based on that, I've seen people asking whether it's even worth pulling for Sandrone anymore. Here's the thing, every time a new region releases, the meta gets stronger. At the beginning of Fontaine, top teams built around New Villette, Farina and others were sitting around 80k to 90k DPS. Then Natlan arrived, pushing that to roughly 100k to 115k. When Nokrai came out, the top teams were around 110k to 125k until Colombina released, raising the meta to over 150k alongside Tsubai. And most recently, the Sandrone team I published with Jaime Cosiwan, TTC6 and Adetta reaches 161.2k DPS. Those have consistently been my results over the years, because unlike many other creators, I don't have a source, I am the source. I bring data, not opinions. Alosha, whose guide I will upload right after this video because stopping the misinformation had to come first. Alosha can replace Titi in that team, pushing the team to over 168k DPS. And before someone compare my numbers to another creators, don't. I'm giving you results using my own long-established calculation standards. Other creators use different assumptions. Right now, 168k DPS is absolute top meta. For comparison, Rioflay, in a similar team that I calculated recently, only reaches around 125k DPS. The difference is massive, and that despite the team still having a minor synergy issue. I also calculated a team with Sino C1 and it reaches 134.6k DPS. If the usual regional power creep is around 10k to 20k extra DPS, do Rioflay or Sino look anywhere near Sandrone's level? Not at all. Sandrone completely redefines the meta and is significantly stronger than both of them. She's absolutely worth pulling. But that's not where the discussion ends. Here's another argument people like to make. If you skip Sandrone, you're just saving for future characters. The problem is, we can't evaluate characters that don't even have numbers yet. Talking about characters without actual stats or mechanics is nothing more than rumors, speculations, and theories. Nothing is confirmed. I don't like discussing imaginary scenarios. I'm talking about Vojenitsa, Beshna, Mitsa, Valeri, Noi, Danica, and especially Anastasia Fedorovna Sneshnaya, the Tsaritsa. There's simply no way to determine how strong any of them are yet. Sure, people expect the Tsaritsa to be powerful just like every Archon has been. Whoa! Congratulations to the guy who predicted that an Archon will be meta. What an incredible prediction. So, who exactly are you saving for? This is where skipping Sandrone starts to sound reasonable until you actually run the numbers. Let's go back to the team. Sandrone, Jaimiko C1, Alosha C6 and Adetta 168.2k DPS. Now let's say I skip both Sandrone and her weapon. Eventually I get the Cryo Traveler C6 with his signature R3 weapon while keeping the rest of the team exactly the same. What's the result? 120k DPS. Yep, if you skip Sandrone to save resources and build a supposed best Cryo Traveler team instead, you end up with a significantly weaker team. Sandrone was never even close to the Cryo Traveler in terms of power. Someone also suggested giving Scofia's weapon to Alosha, which actually makes perfect sense. That increased the team's DPS to 130.8k. It's better, still nowhere near Sandrone. Now, maybe you're thinking, fine, I'll skip Sandrone and invest those Primogems into Adetta C2 to make the Traveler much stronger. Well, the team reaches 168.9k DPS. Whoa, you barely surpassed Sandrone's team while spending the exact same amount of investment. Except that's without giving Scofia's weapon to Alosha. If I give Sandrone's team that same upgrade as well, it jumps to 184.5k DPS. As you can see, skipping Sandrone does save Primogens, but you end up with a mediocre Cryo Traveler team. And if you spend those saved resources on Adetta instead, you're still dealing less damage under the exact same level of investment. So if you pulled for Sandrone, don't feel bad about it. Enjoy your character and don't let misinformation convince you that you made a wrong decision. And finally, someone will say, yeah, but you're saving for even stronger characters in the future. Well, that's been true for 6 years. What's so impressive about stating the obvious? And if the argument is team variety, Sandrone is also a core unit to Stellar Swirl teams, providing the incredibly valuable plus 14% base stellar damage for both stellar reactions. Both Sandrone and Adetta are the foundation of meta for both reactions archetypes. The numbers prove it. And that's all for today. Sorry if this video overwhelmed you with a lot of information, but that's exactly what some creators rely on. They flood you with claims hoping you won't question them because you are unfamiliar with the topic. I address everything that actually deserves a response. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I also do calculations live during my stream, so feel free to follow if you want reliable information. I will try my best to answer you. And as always, be careful with the misinformation. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.